guided by head coach Mr. Matt Roth. Blackhawk Christian School is pleased to sponsor this athletic contest. As a Christian school, we value the need for good sportsmanship and remind everyone that high school athletics is an educational event. In keeping with the spirit and intent of interscholastic athletics, we ask all players, coaches, and spectators to cheer in a positive manner for their team, show respect for their opponents, and honor the decisions made by the officials. Please maintain appropriate behavior at all times so that together we can bring honor to our Lord Jesus Christ. Would you please rise for a word of prayer, followed by our national anthem. Our Heavenly Father, I thank you, and I love you. Thank you for this opportunity tonight to watch these young people compete and perform for a sport they enjoy. I thank you for the Antwerp community as they come to support their teams, but also for the tremendous impact that they have had on my life and the lives of my family. I also have great appreciation for Blackhawk for the same. Tonight I ask, Lord, that these young student athletes be able to compete at their very best and without injury. You are a great, great Father. That's who you are. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, amen.
Now our national anthem will be sung by Blackhawk Christian sophomore Bree Halliburton.
Well, with that, we do welcome you to Blackhawk Christian School as the starters are about to be announced.
From Antwerp High School, a 5'10" senior wearing number 2, Parker Moore. A 6' junior wearing number 10, Carson Altimus. A 5'10" junior number 11, Reed Leasty. A 6'4" junior number 21, Landon Brewer. And a 5'10" junior, number 33, Camden Fuller. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Blackhawk Christian Braves. He stands 6'8", he's a sophomore, he wears number 4, ladies and gentlemen, Kellen Pickett. Out deep, out wide, you'll see number 11, he's a 6'4" junior, Isaac Smith. Pounding the block, you'll see number 13, a 6'6" senior, Josh First. Anywhere, anytime, he's a 6'3" senior, wearing number 23, Jimmy Davidson. And ladies and gentlemen, here's your wingman. He stands 6'4", he's a senior, wearing number 30, Gage Sefta.
The fun matchup we got in store for you tonight as Blackhawk Christian taking on Antwerp here at Mark Davidson Court in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Blackhawk Christian comes into this game with a record of 17-3 overall. Antwerp just about as good. They're 18-3, so it could be a very good matchup. Blackhawk Christian has won their last 2, a road win against Snyder.
Indiana High School.
and a home win against Heritage Christian just about a week ago. Back on Saturday was when that game took place, and we are underway. The tip is won by the Braves. It's Kellen Pickett winning the opening tip. Now, Antwerp is 18-3 overall. They are second place in their conference, the Green Meadows Conference in the state of Ohio. Northwest Ohio, to be exact, is Kellen Pickett. Gets the game started with a 3-ball. Handoff goes to Carson Altimus. And this is a guy to watch out for, Landon Brewer. He was named the Green Meadows Conference Player of the Year, and right away he fires a 3. That won't fall as Jimmy Davidson collects for the Braves. Isaac Smith is a guy who can shoot it well from the outside. He had a game earlier this year against Marquette Catholic where he made 8 threes in all. Now this guy is the leading scorer so far for the Braves, and that's one reason why, because he can score in the post. It's Josh First, the younger brother of Caleb First, the former Mr. Basketball here in Indiana. Oh, First almost got the block here, but instead it's Camden Fuller who gets Antwerp on the board. Here's Gage Sefton, the second leading scorer, 1,000-point scorer for his career. Cross-court pass knocked away, and it's Landon Brewer. Check that. It is Landon Brewer, number 21. He gets the takeaway, and Brewer wanted a 3. He leans in for a long 2. That won't fall. As Jimmy Davidson collects the board for Blackhawk Christian, and he finds Kellen Pickett. Sefton through the lane. Offensive foul. Foul occurred before the basket. Doesn't matter. It's against Blackhawk Christian. Gage Sefton called for that one. And I tell you what, folks, we got a sellout crowd here. If you want to come to the gym and find a seat to sit in, good luck. This Antwerp team, their fans travel quite well, and that can happen when you got a team that's 18-3, and that's exactly where Antwerp is right now. Of course, we know Blackhawk Christian's always going to draw a crowd, and they have drawn that tonight. Blocked on the interior by Jimmy Davidson. It was Carson Altimus who took the shot, and Davidson blocks it. Davidson, one of, I believe, 7 sons of former Braves head coach Mark Davidson. Of course, Mark passed away due to cancer this past spring. His funeral was held in May. A little shot fake here by Parker Moore. Moore spins inside and goes outside to Camden Fuller, and that's taken away by Isaac Smith. Foul is called as Davidson was trying to get the ball across the timeline. Parker Moore called for that one. One foul on each team so far in the game. We've got 5:51 to play. It's Gage Sefton catching the inbound for Blackhawk. First spins around and gets to the bucket for the stuff. Josh First with his first bucket of the game and possibly the first of many. I beg your pardon, it's his second bucket, his first dunk of the game. Kellen Pickett's called for the foul. Pickett had the early 3-ball, but of course the bigs play a huge role for Blackhawk Christian. I mentioned the former head coach at Blackhawk Christian. Matt Roth is the current head coach. He's had a lot of good stuff to say about his players, particularly Gage Sefton. Sefton came back from what appeared to be a wrist injury last week. That's Sefton knocking the ball out there. He appeared to have injured his wrist severely in the first half, but he came back and finished with 21 points. And Roth went on to say, quote, Gage is a tremendous leader on and off the court. He leads and sets the tone for our school. He has a great impact on his peers and teammates, end quote. Note that he sets the tone for the school, not just the team. Contested shot, but Davidson's called for the foul. And that will send Reed Lichty to the free throw line. 3 fouls against Blackhawk early on in this one. That first free throw is good. Blackhawk Christian has 2 more games remaining. They're at Leo on February 21st. That's Tuesday. And then on Thursday, Braves will play their home finale against the Northrop Bruins. As Reed Lichty Gets it to a 3-point game. Driving to the basket is Gage Sefton, and he scores with the left hand. And that's Sefton getting a hand on the ball. He knocks it out of bounds. And the ball will stay with Antwerp. Antwerp Archers out of Antwerp, Ohio. This is one of those occasional Ohio versus Indiana matchups. Homestead's had a few games against teams from Ohio. Eastside had a game against Bryan High School in Ohio. In fact, Antwerp head coach Doug Billman was the former head coach at Bryan. They get the ball over to Parker Moore. Landon Brewer to fake the shot here. He gets it over to Reed Leashty. The lob inside. They get it to Carson Altimus. Altimus into the paint. And that is out of bounds off the hands of Leashty. And Blackhawk Christian will take over. And a timeout is taken by the Archers. And while they take a timeout, we will go ahead and do the same. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, I mean, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, I mean, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really.
We are back here at Mark Davidson Court. Blackhawk Christian has a 9-4 lead over Antwerp, a team out of Antwerp, Ohio. And by the way, this Antwerp team, they are coached by Doug Billman. It's his 7th season as the head coach at Antwerp High School. Took over after being the head coach at Bryan High School for 10 years. Overall, he's been a coach for 25 years, both as a head coach and an assistant. Jimmy Davidson, the offensive board, and then he is fouled along the baseline. Parker Moore is called for that one. On the offensive side, Antwerp runs a lot of ball screen motion. They do sometimes get out and run when they have the opportunity, but a lot of their offense is in the half court. Davidson looking for help. He's got Pickett posting up down low. Pickett against 2 defenders. He's able to score. Kellen Pickett with 5 early points as the Braves bring a little pressure here. Archers beat that pressure, and after the fake, Carson Altimus misses the 3, but it's ripped away by Leashty, and I think Pickett might have gotten the block there. The ball's knocked out of bounds. They're going to say off of Blackhawk. Or did the ball just hit the backboard? I think Pickett might have just thrown it off the backboard. So it's going to stay with Antwerp. 3:37 to go on the clock. Long inbound. Oh, Sefton had a chance at that. Oh, boy, I tell you what. Altimus was falling away towards the timeline, and he almost fell across it. Gage Sefton choosing to stay on Altimus defensively, not willing to let him go by. There's a chance of that happening had he gone up for the steal. Brewer fakes the shot. Altimus gets it back to him. Brewer, the Green Meadows Conference Player of the Year. The step back 3, too strong, and that's Altimus with the offensive board. Davidson collects the board for Blackhawk. Isaac Smith across the timeline. He'll find Davidson. Davidson has it blocked. First has the offensive board, and that looked like an offensive foul, wasn't called. The Antwerp crowd certainly thought it was. Altimus slows it down and feeds it inside to Camden Fuller. Landon Brewer dishes it back out. Long pass hauled in by Zane McMichael. Leashty able to find Zane McMichael on the backdoor cut, and Pickett blocks it. The outlet to first. He regathers and is going to the line. Josh First, the younger brother of Caleb First, the former Brave, who's now at Purdue. And Josh will go to the line. Josh is the leading scorer for Blackhawk Christian this year, averaging over 18 points per game. Gage Sefton not too far behind him. The bigs for Blackhawk are both big-time scorers. They both average double figures. Pickett averaging over 13 points per game. First goes 2 for 2 on this trip to the line. Josh First has 6 points early on in this one for Blackhawk Christian. They get the ball to Carson Altimus. McMichael well guarded. He's double teamed. Sefton helps out. A catch and shoot three for Liechty, and it's good. Antwerp was stuck at 4 points for quite some time, and now Isaac Smith trying to get on the board, but it's to no avail. We've got 1:42 left on the clock here in the first quarter. This is Landon Brewer. He's a 6'4", you can call him a guard forward type of player, and even at 6'4", he's the tallest guy on the court. Antwerp doesn't have any true bigs, so to speak. Brewer at 6'4" plays a lot on the outside and still trying to get it going from the outside, has not been able to. The outlet to First, and he missed the shot. It was altered halfway up by Camden Fuller. Into the paint goes Carson Altimus. Count the basket. And Altimus is fouled. Carson Altimus, the second leading scorer on this Antwerp team, gets on the board for the first time tonight. And all of a sudden, Antwerp is down 4. Altimus goes 2 for 2. Excuse me, he does not go 2 for 2, but he does complete the three-point play. Here is Gage Sefton across the timeline. Through the paint, kicks it out, and Davidson trying to dish it off. Had the shot altered in the paint. 47 seconds, and Antwerp can hold for the final shot. I don't believe they have a shot clock in Ohio. I know they don't have one in Indiana. I used to work in Ohio. They didn't have one then. That was Reed Liechty with the missed three. Smith collects the board. Here comes Sefton. Sefton through traffic. Count it. And a foul. Gage Sefton. A chance to complete a three-point play as Carson Altimus, who just completed a three-point play not too long ago, is at the line to try another three-point play. Kellen Pickett will come out of the game, rather, as Aiden Muldoon checks in. Now, Muldoon has been quite the sixth man. Matt Roth had something to say about him. He said, quote, Aiden is a great sixth man. He understands the game and is always ready to make a positive impact on the game. That's quite the emphatic announcement for Muldoon's entry. Announcements are always emphatic here at Blackhawk Christian when one of the Braves comes into the game. Gage Sefton there completing the three-point play, but the corner three is good, and that's Altimus who knocks it down. And once again, Antwerp has gotten it down to a three-point game, but Blackhawk Christian could hold for the final shot here. Here's Davidson leaning in, too strong. Brewer the rebound, a desperation heave, and it comes up short. So the first quarter comes to an end. Blackhawk Christian is leading, but just by 3 so far. They've led by as many as 9. We're back for the second quarter in a moment on SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Ready to start the second quarter here at Mark Davidson Court. Blackhawk Christian with the lead over Antwerp, an 18-3 school out of the Green Meadows Conference in Ohio, from the town of Antwerp, Ohio, which is not too far from the Indiana line. In fact, I believe that Antwerp, if I'm not mistaken, borders Woodburn, Indiana. That's the home of Woodland High School. As Zane McMichael dribbles out and finds Landon Brewer. Brewer has yet to score in this game. He's a leading scorer for this Antwerp team. That one rolls right off the rim, and now Brewer is on the board, and he pulls Antwerp within 1. Brewer, the Green Meadows Conference Player of the Year, coming up with a bucket there. Pickett one-on-one. Check that, it's first. Got a foul called. We'll see who it's on. The Archers want a walk call, but they're not going to get one. Foul is called on Landon Brewer. Antwerp has 2 players who have lettered in the sport of basketball. Not surprisingly, Landon Brewer is one of them. The other one is Parker Moore, as Josh First adds to his score. First goes 2 for 2. Josh First has 8 points. So far, he leads all Blackhawk Christian scorers. Gage Sefton's not far behind him, and neither is Kellen Pickett. They've got 5 apiece. Altimus, the kick out, finds Camden Fuller. McMichael looking for help. Muldoon's guarding him, and Muldoon is a great defender when he's on the court. Guy who may very well be a starter next year. Braves have 2 seniors in their typical starting rotation. Those are Gage Sefton and Josh First. So the door may be open for Muldoon to work his way into the starting lineup. The door was open for Zane McMichael, the freshman, to get to the bucket there. And once again, it's a 1-point game. Sefton drives, kicks it out. That's Smith for 3, and he drains it. It was only a matter of time before Isaac Smith connected from downtown. I had the pleasure of calling Blackhawk Christian's game against Marquette Catholic, where he hit 8 threes. Davidson rips away the rebound. It's a jump ball. The arrow does favor Blackhawk. Parker Moore will come in for the Archers. Not to be confused with the Southside Archers. Now they're in action against Snyder tonight. One of those teams is going to avoid finishing last place in the SAC. One of them will not be so fortunate. That's poked away from behind. Landon Brewer to the basket, puts it in. Landon Brewer with the pickpocket. And Antwerp pulls back within 2. Sefton lost it but got it back. First helped to keep it alive. Sefton from the corner. His 3 won't fall. First with the tip in. Blackhawk Christian had a game against Heritage Christian last week on a Saturday night. The Braves had a double-digit lead in the third quarter, but Heritage came all the way back to get it to a 5-point game. The final margin was 5 points. Landon Brewer was held scoreless in the first quarter here, but he's got 4 points here in the second, and we've still got 5 minutes to go. And here is Brewer with Sefton guarding him. Corner 3, it's Brewer. He knocks it down. And Antwerp is within 1, and a sub will come into the game. Landon Brewer Scoreless in the first quarter. He's scoreless no more. He's got 7 points in the second quarter. And Antwerp is within 1. They have not been able to take the lead yet. However, they've battled back after being down by as many as 9. As Gage Sefton will come across the timeline for Blackhawk. Sefton into the paint. Splitting defenders, rolls right off. First has the putback. Josh First with 12 points. Brewer for the tie. Check that. It was Liechty who went for the 3 there, but either way, it's no good. Smith was thinking about the 3. Instead, he goes to First. First spins around, and he's called for a travel. That's something that Josh First might have learned from his brother Caleb. I saw Caleb do the spin move along the baseline a number of times. In fact, I had a game here against Wayne where he did that and got himself open for a dunk. First was surrounded by 3 Wayne defenders. Of course, Caleb First is 6'10". There weren't a whole lot of guys who could match him size-wise. And Josh First going for the steal. He's got one-on-one, spins around, and First scores. Josh First to the cup. Taking advantage of the turnover. Braves have stretched the lead back out to 7, but a foul is called on the drive by Carson Altimus. And Altimus will go to the line. Might get Isaac Smith for this one, and indeed that is who they get. Well, Blackhawk Christian has answered well after Antwerp got it to a 1-point game off of Landon Brewer's 3. Altimus true on his first attempt. Still got a lot of basketball left to be played. Antwerp hanging around. This is Gage Sefton across the timeline. They'll find Smith. 2-3 zone here by the Archers. Smith has enough space, but missed the 3. Reed Liechty has the rebound for Antwerp. Brewer will fake the 3 ball. Hand it off to Zane McMichael. Liechty going for the backdoor cut, but Brewer hits the 3 right over Sefton, and this game is tied. Landon Brewer held scoreless in the first quarter. He's got 10 points in the second. That's his second 3 of the game. Muldoon will find First down low. That's going to be a foul, offensive foul on Davidson. It's going the other way. And now Antwerp will have a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game. Doug Billman calling out the play to his guys. Give to Reed Liechty. Liechty gets into the paint. Has it blocked. It's Smith. And Smith gets the takeaway. Sefton down the floor. Puts it up. Rims out. Altimus with the rebound for Antwerp. Brewer was thinking about a 3. That would have been a deep one. That's swatted away. Muldoon has the steal. That ball's knocked out of bounds by Antwerp. Well, if Blackhawk Christian's going to give out a 6th Man of the Year award, who do you give it to other than Aiden Muldoon? He has been far and away the best 6th man on this team. And he showed it to you with his defense there. Sefton with a feed to Davidson. And he has it bounce in to give the lead right back to Blackhawk Christian. Jimmy Davidson on the board. He's the brother of the likes of Marcus Davidson and Frankie Davidson. Frankie, the former leading scorer all time at Blackhawk Christian. Set that record as a senior as Altimus drains a deep 3 to give Antwerp the lead. Check that, it's Brewer. Landon Brewer from downtown, and Antwerp has their first lead of the game, 3rd 3 of the game for Brewer. Right back on the other side, it's Jimmy Davidson, and the lead right back to Blackhawk. There's McMichael. Gives it up. That looked like a travel by Ultimus. Brewer, the dish at the last second, and Ultimus scores. Carson Ultimus off the dish from Brewer. And once again, Antwerp has the lead. They've had 2 leads, both in the second quarter. Davidson finds Muldoon on the wing, and his 3 won't fall. Zane McMichael has the rebound for Antwerp. Doug Billman calling out the play to his guys. And we've got 50 seconds. Antwerp can hold for the final shot here. Remember, there's no shot clock in Indiana high school basketball, and I don't believe they have one in Ohio either. Since we are in Indiana, we're playing by Indiana rules. Aiden Muldoon staying with McMichael all the way. As Aiden McMichael, he's a freshman, stands in at 6 foot flat. Muldoon does give him 2 inches, but he also gives 110% effort when he's on the court. He has been the 6th man of the year for Blackhawk Christian. I don't know if they give out that award, but he has been an incredible 6th man. That's traveling. McMichael took the ball to the deck with him. Blackhawk student section letting them know about the foul. Blackhawk with a chance to take the lead before halftime. This guy can help that cause. It's Gage Sefton through the paint. Draws some contact, missed the shot. Got it back for the lead. Yes! To beat the buzzer, it's Sefton. Gage Sefton closes out the half by giving the Braves the lead. A 7-point half for Gage Sefton, and so far he's hit the biggest shot of this game. Well, while we've got a moment, we will go ahead and get a word in from our sponsors that allow us to do these games that we get to do so often here on SummitCitySports.com. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook page, like their Facebook pages for updated promotions, and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Kelly Automotive Group celebrates their 70th year in business. Shop all 14 of their locations and contact them at brands@drivekelly.com. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They'll help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind throughout the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com to learn more. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. A system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you? Whether it's expunging your criminal record or helping to get your driver's license reinstated. If so, Jolly Law Firm and attorney David Jolly is your answer. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration, providing top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu for more. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook pages, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes with specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. We are at halftime here at Blackhawk Christian School, and we will be right back for the start of the second half in a matter of moments. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with Gym Rat's basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the Edge program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
I just want to be the best in basketball. So I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me. So I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels. We did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here.
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 I belong here.
always been here. You know, and they're getting better. You know, I'm watching, you know, SummitCitySports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And I mean, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And I mean, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, you know, is just here, man. It's really cool.
In 4 years, this could be you. At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts. You belong here!
Our football team haven't won a sectional title in 32 years.
We are at halftime here at Blackhawk Christian School. It is Blackhawk Christian leading 33-32 at the half. They were down by 1 before this happened. We'll show you our Traction AP replay. Gage Sefton missed the first try, but the rebound comes right back to him, and falling away, Sefton is able to knock it down with, I believe there was 2 seconds on the timer when the ball went in. However, after being up by 9, Blackhawk Christian saw the lead slip away, and that happened on this possession. Landon Brewer was scoreless in the first quarter, but he came alive in the second. That was one of 3 threes that he hit in the second quarter alone. 13 points total in the quarter, and that one gave Antwerp a lead, though it was a short-lived lead in the end. Blackhawk Christian with the 1-point advantage at the moment. Right now we got just a little bit of time to get a word in from the good folks at Parkview Sports Medicine. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral needed, saving you time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Second half begins. Blackhawk Christian with the 1-point lead. Looking for a huge win in this Ohio versus Indiana matchup, but that's a bank 3 by Landon Brewer, and Antwerp has the lead right back. I tell you what, Brewer is heating it up. 4 threes in the game, 16 points in all. And here's Gage Sefton going to pull up for 2, and that comes up short. Josh First with the rebound. His putback is good. Well, Josh First on the offensive glass has made a big impact for the Braves. He's got a grand total of 16 points. Parker Moore gets into the paint. Davidson slows him down, and they find Ultimus. Fuller puts it on the deck. First was right in front of him. That's Liechty for 3, and it's off the mark. Jimmy Davidson collects for the Braves. Oh, Sefton had to go up almost like a receiver to catch that one. That's off Antwerp. Sefton was trying to find Isaac Smith, and the pass went a little bit long. Jimmy Davidson will put the ball in play. We're just a minute into the third quarter. The tie game between Blackhawk Christian and Antwerp, but tied no more. It's Josh First with the jam. Moore, the 3 ball comes up short, and it's boarded by Kellen Pickett. The big 6'8" power forward. Sefton had space, now dishes it to First. Pickett has hit a 3 already in this game, won't go for one here. Pickett loses it. Lost it in a crowd, and Camden Fuller was the one who picked it up. Brewer contested by Sefton. Pickett with some quick help side as he chases around the much smaller Cam Fuller. First almost got the takeaway, but Ultimus is there. They switch on Brewer. He had Ultimus wide open. Now Brewer leaning in, and that ball's poked away by Davidson, but recovered by Liechty. Moore, the fake, the drive, blocked. It's Pickett. Through traffic goes Sefton, and a foul is called. They'll send Gage Sefton to the charity stripe. Sefton had that jumper at the end of the first half, which gave Blackhawk a 1-point lead. able to hit his first free throw of the second half. In all, Sefton had 7 points in the first half. He's now up to 8. He's a 1,000-point scorer, and he got to be homecoming king. Blackhawk Christian had their homecoming when Bishop Lures was here at Mark Davidson Court. That was a win for the Braves. Braves have sold out a lot of their games, and this is really nothing new. They love their Braves around here at Blackhawk Christian, but obviously the folks at Antwerp, they love their Archers. Again, that's Antwerp, Ohio, is where the Archers are from. And what's not to love about a team that's 18-3? Little fake there by Cam Fuller. He'll hand it off to Parker Moore. McMichael drives and has to bring it back outside. Braves look to be in a 2-3 zone. At first they did. That's a 3 by Brewer. It's off the mark. Jimmy Davidson has the board. Largest lead for Blackhawk has been 8. It's been 9. Haven't led by double digits, though. Long pass to Smith. Pickett puts it on the deck. Rises up. Missed the jumper. Sefton does get the rebound. He had to battle for it with a bunch of blue jerseys. Eventually the rebound comes to Zane McMichael. Carson Altimus has it. He'll hand that one off to Moore. Moore with Smith on him, and he slips it outside. Braves are actually in a man-to-man here. Brewer, the handoff. Moore was thinking about a 3. And instead it's Fuller who'll try the 3, but it's too strong. Fuller gets his own rebound, and he is fouled by Josh First. Inbound goes to McMichael. He'll slip that one off to Moore, and Moore gets into the paint. He'll find Altimus. Moore fakes, gets around the screen from Fuller. Brewer, the off-balance 3, it's short. But an offensive rebound by Moore. His 3 doesn't fall, and Davidson comes down with the board for the Braves. Pickett gonna drive, and he's fouled on the way up. Doug Billman, the head coach for Antwerp, thought he traveled, and so did the fans who are here from Antwerp, Ohio. And then Brewer called for the foul there. It's his 3rd. Now Brewer has had the hot hand, especially in the second quarter. Not so much in the first, but definitely in the second for Antwerp. But he is now in foul trouble. Pickett does go 1 for 2, and the Braves stretch their lead out to 5. Pickett, guy who averages over 13 points per game. Doug Billman wants a timeout.
Timeout, Archers.
It is a full timeout, so we will stay right here with you. We'll also go ahead and show you one of our replays. It's brought to you, as always, by Traction Athletic Performance. And I tell you what, when Josh First gets that wide open, that's the kind of stuff that happens. Easy dunks, he usually doesn't miss those. As that helped to give the lead right back to Blackhawk Christian after the half started with Landon Brewer knocking down a 3-ball. Well, we've got a chance. We'll go ahead and get one more word from the good folks at Parkview Sports Medicine. Parkview Sports Medicine is the area's largest integrated sports medicine team, specialized in serving every level of athlete, no matter if they're trying to get better at what they do or recovering from injury. Our experts coordinate your care in state-of-the-art facilities in our community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com. By the way, they do have Parkview in Ohio as well as Indiana. It's not just limited to Northeast Indiana, though a lot of the Parkview locations are here in Northeast Indiana. They have Parkview clinics in Bryan, Ohio. I happen to know a few announcers who I believe are still working in Bryan, Ohio. I'll go ahead and give a shout out to Andy Briggle, who does basketball and football and baseball for, I believe it was B-Rock 100.9 out there in Bryan. He doesn't just do Bryan, he covers these Antwerp Archers. I was wondering if I might see him here tonight. So far I have not. Well, shot fake there by Parker Moore. Altimus the drive. There's Brewer with the dish out to Altimus. Altimus had a really good first half, especially in the first quarter, but there's Altimus getting his first points of this second half. Carson Altimus up to 12 points for the game. Looks like a 2-3 zone here by the Archers as Smith misses the three ball, and it comes out to Camden Fuller. Three, that's blocked. It's first with a rebound, and it's stolen right back by Parker Moore. Brewer sets the screen for Altimus. Altimus lost the handle. It's out of bounds to Blackhawk Christian. The feed to first on the baseline. He's double teamed. He'll hit the basket. That did look like a travel, though, but it was not called. Great game so far for Josh First. 20 points he has in this game. Nearly poked away, but it's recovered by McMichael. Leaning in is Parker Moore. It's blocked out of bounds. Moore with the inbound. He finds McMichael. Spinning around is Reed Leashty. He'll dish it outside to Parker Moore. Check that. That's McMichael. Zane McMichael, the freshman. Just barely able to find Landon Brewer. Brewer, the Green Meadows Conference Player of the Year. As Parker Moore drives inside, makes a move on Pickett, and able to score there. Parker Moore's got his first points of the game, and the Braves take over up by 3. And they can hold for the final shot here in the third quarter. We're down to 31 seconds. Davidson zips it outside to Sefton. He'll fake the shot, gets to the basket, and scores. Braves don't hold for the final shot of the half, or the quarter rather, but they do get the bucket late. Sefton with his first points of the third quarter. Oh, Pickett nearly got a steal, but they just barely got it to Altimus. Sefton trying to stay with Brewer, and Brewer drives and scores. Desperation 3 to close out the quarter. Blackhawk Christian with the lead, but only up by 3. Antwerp battling with them. We'll come back for the fourth quarter in just a moment. You're watching high school boys basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
44-41, Blackhawk Christian with the lead over Antwerp. But it's been a close game almost all the way throughout. The Braves did have a 9-point lead in the first quarter. However, Antwerp came all the way back to take the lead in the second. They briefly had the lead in the third. They're up 35-33. But then Blackhawk Christian was able to put together back-to-back buckets and take the lead right back. As Sefton uses the screen from first. He's had a knack tonight for getting some late buckets. Pickett going for his second 3. That's out of bounds off of Josh First. And the Archers take over. Parker Moore across the timeline. He's picked up by Jimmy Davidson, and the Braves have had to run with some pretty good guards all throughout the night, but Smith was able to run with Reed Leashty there and get the block. Sefton down the floor, count the basket, and a foul. The block leads to a bucket. Gage Sefton putting it home. It was Isaac Smith who caused the miss, and Sefton now has 13 points in the game. 1,000-point scorer for his career. He was recognized. Actually, he reached the 1,000-point mark a game against Lures earlier this season. That was homecoming night. And guess who got to be homecoming king here at Blackhawk Christian? He's standing at the free throw line right now as Sefton completes the three-point play. Altimus looking for help. He finds it. That's Moore. Moore around the screen from Brewer. 3-ball rims out. Camden Fuller with the miss, and it's Kellen Pickett with the rebound for Blackhawk. Braves looking for a marquee win against the Archers. The Archers are 18-3 coming into this game. Braves are 17-3. On a 2-game winning streak, the most recent losses for Blackhawk were a home game against Dwenger and a road game against Wayne. That's a huge win for Wayne. They're in action tonight against Concordia. Davidson finds Smith. And Sefton will drive, but he lost the ball. Into the hands of Leashty. The feed to Brewer. Brewer's shot won't fall. First had the rebound. It's out of bounds to the Braves. It has been a year of, well, you could say a year of ups and downs for Blackhawk Christian, at least since last winter. Braves had a great basketball team a year ago, but they also lost their head coach, Mark Davidson, who lost his battle with cancer. I say he lost his battle. It was a good, hard battle, and I trust that he is with the Lord. He was a man who loved Jesus Christ, and he displayed that in his actions, and he talked about Jesus Christ even with his opponents. Kellen Pickett here was fouled, and looks like he's going to the line. Foul is called on Reed Leashty.
That's his first, team fourth. At the line for the Braves, number 4, Kellen Pickett, shooting 2.
Of course, losing Mark Davidson, nobody at this school wanted to lose Mark Davidson, not as a coach, not as a man. I'm sure Matt Roth, as much as he enjoys being the head coach at Blackhawk Christian, wishes it didn't take the death of Mark Davidson to cancer for that to happen. But even so, he has kept the momentum going for this basketball program. He's got him at 17-3 and looking to go to 18-3 with 2 games left in the regular season. It's safe to say that Mark Davidson will always hold a special place in Matt Roth's heart. He was an assistant coach on Davidson's staff for 3 years. As Kellen Pickett goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. We're going to get a timeout. Doug Billman will call that one. Timeouts have been at a premium tonight. This one's a 30-second timeout. Well, if you're looking for a guy to make some big shots, Gage Sefton can certainly fill that role, and he has tonight. Isaac Smith was the one who blocked that shot, but then Sefton got it and went to the basket, drew the foul, and scored it. And he completed the three-point play. He's had a couple of those tonight. Sefton has put up 14 points in this game for Blackhawk Christian. What a year he's had. What a career he's had. You know, it's not uncommon for a guy to go from being a backup to being a starter, and that was the case for Gage Sefton this year. Not just this year, but he was a backup as a freshman, backup most of his sophomore year, though we did get to start some games in the absence of Marcus Davidson, one of Mark Davidson's sons. Marcus was a double-digit scorer, of one of the top scorers on this Braves team when he was here, especially his junior and senior years. But there was some time where Marcus was unable to play, and Gage Sefton filled in for him and played extremely well when he filled in for him. And since becoming a full-time starter, Sefton has not disappointed. That's barely recovered by Carson Altimus. Brewer for three from the corner, no good. That was a gotta-have-it three as Antwerp was looking to keep themselves alive, and now Blackhawk Christian can work some time down and also pull away in this lead. Not necessarily looking to run the whole clock down. There's over 5 minutes left on it as Kellen Pickett backs in and scores. Well, from a scoring standpoint, Pickett has been rather quiet in this one. Although, I do believe he's now up to double figures with 10 points. That's his first field goal since the first quarter. They slip it inside, and McMichael is able to put it home. Zane McMichael. A 6-foot flat freshman, and the Antwerp student section, it sounds like, is letting Blackhawk know that a freshman just scored on him. Of course, that's not all too uncommon. Kellen Pickett will set the screen for Sefton. Aiden Muldoon is a heck of a sixth man. He's on the floor right now. Pickett, the second chance bucket goes. And now Matt Roth wants a timeout. As the Blackhawk Christian Braves are looking to close out a win against a marquee team from the Buckeye State. When you have guys who can rebound on the offensive glass, that can help that cause, and Blackhawk Christian certainly has that with Kellen Pickett, and he showed you just a moment ago. Not only that, but Pickett, a guy who can put the ball on the deck and use dribble penetration. Good resiliency there by Pickett, staying with the shot even after the miss, and he's able to get the bucket. 4:23 to go in regulation as Blackhawk Christian is trying to knock off an 18-3 Antwerp team from Antwerp, Ohio, just across state lines. Moore, as Davidson on him, finds Brewer, and Brewer gets into the paint. Carson Altimus hits a three, and Antwerp is not done yet. That's 15 points for Altimus. We still got just inside 4 minutes left to play. Antwerp was down 9 in the first quarter. Now after being down by even more than that, do they have a run left in them? Sefton was looking to run down the baseline. Out to Muldoon, he finds First. First draws a crowd, and they got him for traveling. Well, after one made three, making it a 7-point game, what kind of run do the Archers have left in them as Matt Roth clearly incensed by the call. Landon Brewer fakes the shot, puts up the jumper, and drains it, and Antwerp is within 5. The Archers aiming at a comeback. Davidson finds Muldoon. Pickett down low. Swings it outside to Gage Sefton. He tried to slip it to Pickett, got it back, and puts it in. How do you do, Gage Sefton? Doug Billman thought it was traveling. The call was not made. 3-ball, Altimus. No good. He made one just a moment ago to make it a 7-point game, but Sefton has the board, and it's an empty possession for the Archers. Here's Davidson with the fake. Cross-court pass to Sefton. As we approach 2 minutes to play, Blackhawk Christian likely looking to hold for a shot inside the 2-minute mark, you would think, or maybe not, as Sefton drives and puts it in. The soft touch by Sefton. Sefton looking to play the role of closer, and he almost got a steal. But traveling is going to be called on Parker Moore. It's going right back to the Braves with 2:01 to play in regulation. Doug Billman, he's just going to get a sub in. So he signals out that it's Camden Fuller, number 33, coming into the game. 5 straight points moments ago by the Archers, but Blackhawk has answered with 4 straight of their own, and they'll get the clock inside 2 minutes here. And Sefton will work the ball across the timeline. Davidson was open. He's able to recover the ball, but it's stolen. It's Parker Moore with the takeaway. Davidson was in a tough angle there. Brewer almost fired that thing from beyond the volleyball line. As our old buddy Ryan Dellinger likes to say, he was going to shoot that from the parking lot. Can't remember if Ryan's got a game tonight or not. I think he's actually doing volleyball over at Indiana Tech, men's volleyball that is. He is our volleyball guy. He's our volleyball guy. Of course, Hunter Sosenheimer and Tim Atkinson are our soccer guys during the fall. I do plan to bring you a few baseball games during the season as Aiden Moore gets the takeaway. He lobs it to first on the alley-oop jam. Josh First on the lob from Muldoon. The tag team pays off for the Braves. Corner 3 is an air ball. It's Pickett who boards it. Back down the floor goes Sefton. And Sefton continues to play the role of closer in this Buckeye Hoosier matchup. And it looks like Blackhawk Christian is going to take it home, trying to go to 17-3 on the season. We do have 1:11 to go. The fans certainly think it's over. At least the student section here does. But Blackhawk Christian up to a 13-point lead with time starting to tick away. Got a couple of replays. Hopefully we'll be able to show you both of them. Aiden Muldoon with the snatch there, and then he's able to lob it to Josh First, and First gets the dunk. Muldoon gets the steal and the assist, and Muldoon, if he wants to be Sixth Man of the Year here at Blackhawk Christian, or maybe even in the city of Fort Wayne, he just made quite a case for himself. Not sure if Blackhawk Christian awards a Sixth Man of the Year, but if they do, Muldoon would be quite the strong candidate for it. And then Gage Sefton trying to play the role of closer. He's been able to play the role of closer very well in this ball game as he is able to escape some potential contact and then gets the bucket. Parker Moore waits to pick it up, and they're going to have him bring it back to the baseline for another inbound. Now Moore picks it up. Brewer is able to snag the ball. He's got Sefton on him. Moore picks it up. Back to Brewer. Brewer for 3. It is short. Offensive board by Parker Moore. That's going to be double dribble. Double team comes. Sefton able to get it away. He finds Davidson. Blackhawk Christian might just be looking to run the clock down. It's down to 35 seconds. Davidson the lob to Pickett. And Pickett with a little punctuation jam. 3-ball Brewer tried to bank it home to no avail. It's Davidson who collects. And all he has to do is get the ball across the timeline, and Blackhawk Christian is going to celebrate a win in a Buckeye Hoosier showdown. The last second will now tick off the clock as Blackhawk Christian gets to 18-3 on the season. Antwerp will fall to 18-4. Well, what a great season it's been for Blackhawk Christian. Obviously, last year they deal with the adversity of losing their head coach, Mark Davidson, a great coach and a great human being as well. And obviously they had to turn around from that after such a tragedy. And the basketball team has certainly been able to fight through that. Matt Roth, the head coach, a former assistant under Mark Davidson, certainly he felt Davidson's loss just like any of these athletes did, anybody in this community did. But he has been able to take this team to 18-3. What a great season that Blackhawk Christian has put together. It's certainly not over yet. 2 more regular season games to go for the Braves. They're at Leo on Tuesday night and home against Northrop on Thursday. That'll be the Braves' final home game and their final game of the regular season. But tonight they win a big one against the once 18-3 Antwerp Archers, now 18-4. The Braves are now 18-3. And our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is going to be Gage Sefton. Sefton basically played the role of closer in this game. We'll have more on that in just a matter of moments. Well, that was Brennan Miller leading both the Blackhawk Christian Braves and the Antwerp Archers in a post-game prayer. That was a custom under head coach Mark Davidson when he was here as the head coach. Matt Roth, the current head coach, a former Davidson assistant, continuing that trend. And this time allowing the junior guard Brennan Miller to lead the post-game prayer. Well, we're going to take a quick 30-second break and then come back to let you know more about our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game.
This has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really
Well, Blackhawk Christian a winner over Antwerp 63-48. Our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is going to be Gage Sefton. Now, Sefton finishes this game with a grand total of 18 points. Second leading scorer for the game for Blackhawk Christian in this one. But it was his baskets that largely helped the Braves to close out the ball game, and a game where Antwerp was battling back and even had a few leads, 2 in the second quarter, 1 in the third, and started to fight back after the Braves had got it up to a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. But Gage Sefton helped the Braves, after the Archers had got back to a 5-point game in the fourth quarter. But Gage Sefton helped the Braves to pull away and ultimately win the game. He's your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. And that will do it from here at Mark Davidson Court. The Braves win it 63-48 over the Archers from Antwerp, Ohio. Blackhawk Christian wins in a Buckeye Hoosier high school basketball battle. That's going to do it from here at Blackhawk Christian. For my cameraman, Carson Watkins, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Blackhawk Christian School. You've been watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.